invite our CEA convener, Professor Chandrasekhar Annavarpu, to the stage to share a few words with us.
Morning all. Welcome. I know that you all have artificial intelligence on your mind, right? We are of course in the age of data, and AI can help us in many things, and it's not all computer science. There's a lot of problems in civil engineering where AI can really help us when it comes to things like adhering, complying with regulations, right? When it comes to predictive maintenance of equipment, all of these places AI can really play a great role, right? So I think it's very possible for us to marry our two interests, right? The domain expertise that you have, as well as the current frontier of where the whole world is heading, right? So I think in that context, we are very happy that Botminds could come and join us today to tell us about all the wonderful things that they're doing. So we have with us representatives from Botminds who will give a presentation shortly, and we would give them a very hearty welcome. So please, a round of applause for them. And let me invite Professor Murli, who works in this space, to give us some context about how Botminds can combine with all the work that we do at IIT Madras.
Yeah, so very good morning to all of you, and welcome you all to this day 3 of CEA Summit. So a couple of weeks or a month ago, Saranya, who is coordinating this particular event, she dropped into my office and asked what can be done to have something that makes students attract towards the workshop, and what can be done something that that is helping them in their career and in their advancements of their career. And that's where immediately that came to my mind was this concept of text analytics, because of late I have been working in this field for a couple of years, and fortunate enough that last year there was a workshop that we conducted at BTCM wherein we tried to bring in people from different areas, like the domain. As Professor Chandra was saying, computer science alone cannot solve the problems in the world unless they collaborate with people from the domain, because problems come from the domain, right? So solutions, we are having people, but there should be somebody who tells us what is the problem so that solutions can be designed according to this problem. And again, the solutions that come out needs to be validated, and again for the domain is very, very important. And that's where you are all from, civil engineering domain, which is a very, very complex and very, very important and the nation's backbone, right? We are the nation's backbone as an engineering branch, right? So then that particular conference about a year ago, so we had people coming from the domain, that is the civil engineers. We had people coming from the academia, a lot of IITs, many IITs, IIT Tirupati, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi. We had representatives from different IITs, and we also had people from the construction industry, from where these problems actually originate. And interestingly, we also had a couple of tech guys like Botminds who have partnered with us today for this workshop. So that's where I met the CEO, Mr. Gokul, and we had a very, very nice discussion in that particular workshop. And after that workshop also, we had a number of opportunities to interact with each other, and that's where we thought that this is a space which I think civil engineers have to potentially tap into, and that's where these ideas and our partnership have started. More about this, Gokul will tell us in a short while. So this workshop, you will be learning something called text analytics. So now, what is this text analytics, and what am I going to do with this as a civil engineer is something that some of you might be wondering about. And many might have heard this for the first time, or some of you might already have heard it. In a way, I think most of us in this hall today here, we use ChatGPT left, right and center. It's become our savior in many instances, okay, trust me. I know the smile that's coming from the corner of your faces. I can understand what is the reason for that. But yeah, so ChatGPT has revolutionized entire knowledge management industry, right? So of course there are plus and minus about it. Not everything from ChatGPT can be trusted, right? But that's where human intelligence, domain expertise come to judge whether what it throws out, is it whether relevant or not relevant. So in a way, ChatGPT, as you all might be knowing, is a large language model, and all your text analytics, and which is something revolves around this large language model. Now imagine you have a tool that is designed for solving construction problems. When I say construction problems, I'm talking specifically about the problems that are associated with text documents. So we have numbers, we have videos, we have images, we also have text. And one place where you find a lot of text in construction is in the area of construction contract management. Right? A simple analogy that I would like to give you is, say for example, you are installing a software. Right? So what do you do typically when you install a software? Double click the exe file, next, I accept terms and conditions, next, install. Right? So whenever, if it was possible, I think if you would have gone into this accept terms and condition, when you actually read these terms and conditions, you will not install it. Right? You will actually not install it. Right? So that is something, that is, this text is something that we all typically tend to ignore. Like, see, just one day before exam, if the faculty says this book is your syllabus, will it be very interesting for you? No. Right? It's a book, so much of text that has to be digested. Right? So text is becoming a very challenging thing in construction domain, especially when you are entering into large construction contracts. Like, say for example, you want to construct a metro. You can see outside when you go in Chennai, a lot of places this metro work is going on. A lot of infrastructure projects are going on. Most of the cities this is going on these days. For these projects to start, there is a contractor, there is a client who have entered into a complex contract. And this contract is not 1 or 2 pages. It runs to thousands of pages. And imagine somebody should have read these thousands of pages, because every line or every page of this document is signed, which means somebody who is signing is committing to that. Right? And it's not 1 or 2 rupees, it's multi-billion dollars value projects. Something wrong that you commit, tomorrow you're going to face consequences. Right? You're not going to say, oh no, that day I signed, I did not see it. Somebody told me to sign, I signed it. So you're committing on that. So there's a legal commitment that you're making it, and you're obliged to fulfill that commitment, whether you like it or don't like it. Right? So that's an importance of this document. And this document is often, in my experience I can tell you, is often taken very lightly in the beginning. Then once you enter into the project, tomorrow there is a problem, then this document comes out of the picture. Then that becomes a bone of contention, and people go all the way to High Court, Supreme Court to fight out on this. Companies win, companies lose, governments win, government lose. And this becomes a very, a thorn in the relationship between the client and the contractor. So this very text document, which we find it many times boring and lazy to read. And trust me, contract documents are not an interesting document to read at all. My area is construction contract, but I am telling you that. Right? But it's a very boring document. When you read it, you will definitely get sleep. Right? And because most of the things in that we may not be able to understand also, because it's all legally intensive words that we use in the contract document. So this is a very long document, very boring document. And obviously, when somebody says, I'm going to give you a contract of 1,000 crore rupees, if you sign these 1,000 pages, what will anybody think? What harm in signing 1,000 pages if I'm getting 1,000 crores? So sign. What will happen? So sign. But this very document, tomorrow if you don't take it seriously, comes back to haunt you. Right? So what is the solution? So if there can be a solution, like for example, if there can be all of you have seen this movie, Rajnikant's movie Robo, right? So what does that Robo, what does he do? In some of the scenes, what does he do? Science, right? Just like this and science. Imagine you have a tool like that can take in your 1,000-page document, in a second analyzes the entire document, and now it says, come on, ask me questions, I'll tell you the answers. If at all we had something like this for writing our exams, it would be so nice. Right? So anyways, so if at all we have a tool like this, can't it make our job easy? Can't it make our life easy? Can't we put up some questions to the tool and say, hey tool, you have read this document, now you answer my 5 questions. In a second it will tell you. If at all you have to do this manually, you have to sift through thousands of pages, which you might do it, may not do it, you might ignore a few things, right? And things, you don't get a ready-made answer from a contract document just by reading it. You'll have to connect different parts and make a whole sense of it, which is very challenging. Right? So if all these things can be done in a second, just like what ChatGPT does to you. So if you want to do a program to do something, you just say, hey GPT, send me a Python code for doing this. It gives you a Python code, finish. Life's so simple. I remember in my engineering days, we used to slog to understand what is the printf and all those things. We write this problem, this code, and and some of the codes, this font is important, the context is important, so many things are there. But now everything is made, life is made very easy, and I was even seeing a small article in a few days. Now the programming language that we use now is English language. English is the programming language that we have to know, which we all of us know to pretty good extent, right? So this is a tool that can simplify lives of civil engineers, if at all it can be used very interestingly, very innovatively. And that's where today we have Botminds, who are going to demonstrate their platform to tell us how this particular tool can make the life of a civil engineer simpler and easy, right? And just like you, I'm also curious to go through this session, because this can help in solving many of the industry problems that we have. And lastly, before I step down, I request all of you to take this very seriously, because this is going to be the future. Your careers tomorrow, when you go to the industry, when you sit for your placements, I'm sure shortly many of you will be going for placements, questions will be asked as to what is your AI exposure. If you can say, I can do this, definitely that will be the differentiation that you will do with respect to the others who are there in your class. And this is one very good opportunity that you have got. And Botminds is a very young team, and they are willing to collaborate beyond this workshop also. So they will talk to us about interesting problem statements. If some of you can catch up to that and get back to them, I think I'm sure they will support you on this. Right? So please take this very seriously, and I hope you all enjoy. And thank you. Looking forward to interact with you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the insights. Today we are privileged to be joined by Mr. Gokul Ganapathy, the CEO and co-founder of Botminds AI, a trailblazing no-code platform enabling enterprises to adopt Gen AI and agentic AI in their core processes. With over 20 years of experience across product development, enterprise architecture, and data automation, Gokul brings deep expertise in building scalable, intelligent systems. With over 18 years in data science and big data, Gokul specializes in turning unstructured data into actionable insights. Before Botminds, he led key initiatives at Mobius Knowledge Services and was instrumental in deploying large-scale applications for top-tier clients. An entrepreneur at heart, his academic background in physics laid the foundation for his career in data and technology. Now let's invite Mr. Gokul onto the stage to share a few words with us.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks, Professor Murali, for the kind words and introduction. And thanks, Professor Chandra, for inviting us to part of this long-standing tradition in civil engineering department, CEA Summit. So, super excited to be part of this summit. As Professor Murali said, it's like 2 years of discussions, many interactions around how we can help civil engineering department, civil engineers. So this is one opportunity for us. So today in this workshop, if some of you can get the essence of AI, that would be fantastic. Okay, so with that note, I'm starting my keynote. But before going to the keynote, how many of you are actually using ChatGPT or some technologies like that? Not necessarily ChatGPT, it can be something like Claude. Okay, 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, well, no, we are not going to take a photo and then ask questions what you did with ChatGPT. Great, wearing 1 or 2 hands, all of you saying you use ChatGPT. Of course, unless otherwise you are under the rocks or doing some tapas. Okay, everyone knows about ChatGPT. You you may have decided not to use it for various reasons, but you guys know what is happening in the world with ChatGPT and AI and all. To that level, for example, I yeah. So thanks for the introduction about me. But yesterday I asked this, right? You open chat.openai.com, or you get in. If you're using ChatGPT for last few months, or if you interacted with ChatGPT, you can give this prompt. Hey, describe me based on all our chats. Make it catchy. This is standard prompt available in the interface. So I use this. It says, hey, you are an A master from Chennai, blah blah blah, all those things. Okay, you blend mathematics, physics, and philosophy, like precision, all these things. So now this ChatGPT is kind of a personal assistant for most of the folks. It helps you, and also it understands about you continuously. It should understand about you, otherwise it cannot help you in better way, right? So imagine you have an assistant. If you are expecting that assistant to help you, then it should also understand you better. Then only it can help you. I mean, then only it can help you to the level you are expecting. So that's the other side, right? For example, it says, hey, you like coding games with you. So it knows I have a 7-year-old boy or 7-year-old kid, because I ask sometimes, hey, what is the story I can say to my kid? Of course, I am thinking about games I can introduce to my son. So it understands all the things, and then it recounts. And now I can, if I have to say, hey, for example, yesterday I'm going to meet civil engineers from IIT, what I can talk about. It immediately says, no, I mean, this is what he said. Hey, we are living in the age of transformation. We are living in the, you literally, all the people are living the transformation. Like, it is an inflection point. So basically, again, I want to say this is a cue given by ChatGPT, right? Because the GPT knows about me, knows about Botminds, and it has complete idea who am I, and also because I mentioned it's IIT, Madras, civil engineering department, it gives me that context. Hey, first tell them we are at an inflection point. We are living the transformation. Of course, I added this image. It's not like I added. Okay, I know. I mean, sometime back I know this quote from Andrew Ng. Andrew, I'm not sure how many of you know it. He's like very influential, big. I mean, basically, he's the one who started this movement with Anglican and all. He's a disciple of Anglican. So he says, just as electricity transformed almost everything 100 years ago. First of all, how many of you can even think that electricity, ubiquitous everywhere, is just 150 years old, right? Just 150 years before only, the electricity as a thing got introduced to the world. But you cannot imagine a world without electricity. It's everywhere. It's like you cannot even, think about a life without electricity. So electricity became part of our life, just like our breathing. So you can even go beyond and say it done a transformation. So it transformed everything 100 years ago. So today we are in a stage. In next few years, it's not like you have to wait for another 100 years. In next few years, you will see everything getting transformed, every industry getting transformed with AI. Right? So that's what the inflection point is all about. So you can think of electricity is one, of course, and then we got an inflection point like internet, like some 30 years back when the internet, came into our life. I still remember I will go to my, used to call browsing centers and all, where you go and create first email ID, and then we will go and create our first blog page. You guys don't have to go through that struggles, but we used to. That's a crazy new thing. Just that 30 years back. Okay, it changed everything. Like kind of websites and the knowledge, um, democratization. A lot of things happened with that internet. Correct. Then what happened? Then you suddenly got mobile. You guys, some of you might have seen the transformation. Mobile came into the world. Everyone started using mobile like anything. Mobile apps and WhatsApps and Instagrams. That's what the world. So that's another transformation. But these are all compared to those things. What we are going to see with the AI going to be 100x, 1000x bigger than what. That's why straight away we are comparing with electricity. We are not comparing with internet. We are not comparing with mobiles. How it help the world. So we are the inflection point. That's the first thing I want you guys to understand. That is the reason why we are invited to this event for a civil engineer, summit, civil engineer association summit. We are invited because your professors and your department understand the importance of artificial intelligence. Now, okay, great. How can you prepare? Okay, that it's coming, great. How can you prepare for that? But first thing, be curious, right? When I say be curious, this is the first step. You are part of this event. Okay, you chose to be. You decided to be part of this morning. I think Sunday morning, 9 o'clock. You wanted to be part of this workshop because it says something about artificial intelligence. It says about something made you something piqued your interest. Something made you curious. That's the first step. Okay, but not just in this session, but stay updated, explore about the tools what we have, because we have kind of new tools coming out, and everyone talking about it every day. Okay, so first be curious. That's one. Second, embrace data literacy. Okay, now you all civil engineers, you will be called civil engineers, or you will be called literate. Only you know concrete and steel. If you don't know concrete and steel after 3 years, 4 years, then you can easily say you are illiterate, right? You are a civil engineer, but you don't know. Okay, I'm just new. That's the same way. Understand the data. Okay, so data literacy is critical. Okay, so understanding data is fundamental. If you want, take away a point from this session, keep this in mind. Like how concrete and steel, understanding about concrete and steel is important to you. In the same way, please understand the data and AI. Okay, that is important. So that's another point I want to make. Third, upskill. Okay, today you are going to learn about Botminds platform, because Professor Murli talked about how you have to deal with contracts and all. You may ask, hey, why not I just upload the contract into ChatGPT and I can analyze and get. No, there are a lot of compliance and securities and sensitive information available. You cannot just like that use any publicly available ChatGPTs in the world. And also, yes, it is easy. You can upload and ask questions, but you need some kind of standardization, some kind of best practices. So a lot of things needed. So you have to learn the basics of the tools and automation platforms. Okay. Now, like Professor said, when you getting to the placement, you're getting to your employers, the first thing they'll ask, hey, what do you know about AI? Okay, how you can use AI? So most of the people worried about AI will replace my job, or I will not get job because of AI. How many of you have that fear? I will not get job because of AI. Anyone? Any hands? Will you? Maybe you guys don't want to show the fear, but including me, everyone in the world having that fear. Okay. because the programming, you don't have to do coding now. Even you can just ask, you can get entire program created or entire application created now, right? So if you don't have that fear, that's wrong. You should have that fear. Okay, you should have that fear. Okay, AI will, but immediately you should get that clarity. It is not because of AI you are not getting job. You will not get the job only if you don't know about AI. Only if you don't know how to use the AI in your job. So the critical differentiator between a person who is getting a job and who is not getting a job is whether he can use the AI or not. Whether he has the exposure, he or she has the exposure to use the AI tools. Okay, so the upskill continuously is a critical point. When you get certified yourself, like I'm certified, ready for market, or I'm ready for job market, I'm ready to take some responsibility in some companies, the first thing you have to keep in mind is, am I ready to use AI tools? Okay, so that's the important point. And more finally, how to use the AI with human ingenuity, meaning the creativity and the real essence of human cannot be replaced. But you have to marry these two things: your creativity, your ingenuity, or your ability to think out of the box, whatever you can call, right? That ability of human mind should get integrated with AI. So that's also, even in all these 4 points, you keep in mind when you are going through these workshop sessions. Curious about, what are the tools, hey, what Karthik is talking about, hey, why he is talking about, conversing with the documents, how it happens, why it happens, how it can able to generate this, coherent answers. Be curious and ask about it, and understand this fundamental nature of the data literacy, and also upskill, and finally think about how I can use these tools along with the expertise I gathered over the 3 years or 4 years of study. Now, this is the last slide, so I'm not going to bore you. So, great. Now I got the idea how I should be prepared. Great. Now, when you move forward, keep this in mind. It's no longer execution. It's more supervision. The humans, it's not only for civil engineers I'm talking about. Every human, the intelligent human being's job or role is supervision, then execution. For example, I talk to my developers, who are in coding. Hey, why you are doing this code? Just supervise the code generation tools. Ask the code generation tool to code, and you supervise, and you suggest improvements, and thereby you can go fast. So typically what it takes 1 week, 2 weeks of effort by a programmer can be done in a few minutes or 1 day. Likewise, you supervise. That's important. Execution to supervise. If you are in execution, you will be in the lower strata, and you can quickly, the time it takes. For example, when you get into some large organizations, you will see seniors and directors and VPs who are in the supervision. They're getting jobs done with a lot of junior employees. But the beauty here is, you can straight away get into supervision, but a lot of the menial or basic jobs can be done, and by you can execute. You can ask the AI agents to execute, and you can supervise. So that's the important point. So keep that in mind. So start guiding AI. Some of the guiding you will do today. In your workshop, you will guide the AI to create some summaries or create some risk identification. You will do today. But that guiding AI to solve complex problems is what you have to learn. So you have to move from execution to supervision. Second, you leverage the insights from AI. So for example, today you will upload a contract. you will see the insights are extracted automatically. The insights only possible with 10 years of expertise in the field. A 10-year experienced civil engineer can look at the class and then say, hey, this is risk. It talks about a BE standard of 1000, 1, 2, 3 column something, but it is very difficult because I know the BE standard book, it has 3-page detailing, so that steel with the complying to that standard is not possible, and they are talking about corrosion free even after 100 years in the sea water. It's risky. Those things can be specific. I mean, only a 10-year experienced civil engineer can say. But beauty is now you can upload the contract and the AI will extract that insight and it will give to you at your risk immediately. So you can be strategic decision maker. You can say, hey, we are sourcing this material from this vendor, but this vendor don't have that capability, so we have to go to this vendor from this country. And by the way, the AI is saying it is not impacted by Trump tariff, so we have to. So that kind of strategic insights you guys can do. Believe me, that's not far-fetched. You guys can take strategic insights, strategic decision. You can be a strategic decision maker. Okay? Now, again, you have to proudly say, for example, after this workshop, if you are making a LinkedIn post, you can say, hey, thanks to this workshop, now I am an integrated civil engineer. Because that's what we want you to be. Because AI integrated civil engineer means you know how to use AI, you know the tools and platforms, and you know the technical skills, and you know how to marry the technical skills with the AI expertise. The fluency matters. So one person can do that maybe in a hub manner, but another person is very fluent and he or she can do within a few minutes the complex. That's going to be the differentiator. How fluent you are in using the AI tools. Okay, so that's pretty much. So you are here in this workshop. You are already curious. Get the data literacy. Learn learn the platforms and the tools today you're going to see in the workshop, and then integrate the AI for your day-to-day work. Okay, this is your new role. I want all of you to be an AI integrated civil engineers, and that's the need of the hour. That's the need of the country, and being a pioneer in this, pioneering the industry, academic collaboration. IIT Madras gives you the opportunity to learn about AI right in your colleges, and they are inviting company like Botminds. So make use of this opportunity, and when you become an AI integrated civil engineer, that's a big thing, because every one single AI integrated civil engineer can do the work of 100 normal civil engineers. So that kind of explosion, that kind of positive thing is what we can achieve. So with that note, I want to close. Just one more thing, keep this in mind, because even though you have 10-15 minutes of my yarn, but I know the fear is very, very real. But don't think AI is a competition. Once you become an AI integrated civil engineer, then AI is in your ally. AI will be the differentiator, and you can proudly say, hey, I can do 100x better job, and the sky is the limit then. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Sites. We would now like to express a heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Gokul for his support and involvement in the CEA Summit. I request Professor Chandrasekhar Annavarpu and Mr. Gokul to kindly come onto the stage, and Professor Annavarpu sir to present the memento to Mr. Gokul. Thank you, sir. I request Mr. Shaktiguru Radhakrishnan, Director at Botminds, to take over the stage.
Hey, hi, good morning. All good? Okay. First of all, thanks Gokul, thanks Mr. Modi, thanks Chandra, thanks Civil Engineering Association for this opportunity. I would like to take just like a minute or so to just give you an idea what the session is all about, and then directly we are going into the deep dive. Right. First 15 minutes, we are going to show you the platform. Okay. Just like the ChatGPT magic, you will see what really enterprises are using. Right. Like which are the enterprises you are going to you want to work with after your graduation. I want to hear some at least like 10-20 names quickly. Can you be loud? L&T, superb. Any other? TCS, okay. Godrej, next. Tata, very good. Next. Shobha Tech, okay. Then Meha Constructions. Confident. Okay. Any other names? Prestige, fantastic. Prestige, Brigade, yeah. Aqua. Sattva, oh, okay, sorry. Actually, like really good names. So, let me give you the idea. So, basically, Botminds works with a lot of Fortune 500 companies in the world. We are a global company. We are headquartered in the US. Okay. I thought Gokul will introduce Botminds to you, but like, yeah, like he was introducing, he's in a passion to introduce AI to you. So, Botminds is a US company headquartered in Seattle, and we have a development center in Chennai. Okay. See, we work majorly with like top Fortune 50, Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies. Like large enterprises, literally large enterprises, like L&T. Right? You can imagine the size of companies like CMRL. CMRL we are consulting. Chennai Metro Rail Limited. You know what is the budget of CMRL? Any guesses? So, like what is that like metro budget they are handling? Give me some guesses. Developer? 9,000 crores. Okay. Any other guess? Yeah, think about it. Put out some thoughts. How much? Some numbers? Yeah. Yeah, throw some numbers. Like what is the budget they are handling? 20,000 crore. Good number. This side. How much? 25,000 crore. Okay. Just two more numbers. 50,000 crore. 15,000 crore. Okay. What else? One more guess. Okay. So they are easily handling more than 2 lakh crores of projects in Chennai alone. That is why CMRL, Chennai Metro Rail Limited. Okay. And this has been funded by World Bank, Asian Development Banks, and some of the leading banks of the world. Okay. And they are dealing with what? Procurement terms, contracts, tenders. Right. They are the biggest tendering body in Chennai. We work with them. Okay. Now you will have the visibility of like what is really happening in civil industry if you start understanding Botminds, if you start using this kind of like tools. Okay. So definitely CMRL can't upload the document inside the ChatGPT and ask the question, right? Hey ChatGPT, I want to give tender for 1,000 crore, give me a contract document. There should be like thousands of guardrails, right? Thousands of like signatories, things like checks and balances should be there. Then only they can create such a like nice contract, and that is what we are going to do. So imagine at the end of the session, so everyone is like an expert in Nippon Koi who is consulting like CMRL, like a person who is creating that level of contract, that level of tender. So imagine you being expert in another like 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So that's going to be the idea of the session. Okay, so this is the expectation I want to set you team, set you like a brothers and sisters. So like CMRL, we work with the large enterprises. So think about it. So now like come out of this, all the good names are good. All the names are good. So Shobar Realty, Godrej, all are good. Let's go one step ahead. Let's start solving even bigger problem than this. That is what the session is all about. So let me introduce Mr. Karthikeyan, the head of pre-sales of Botminds. He will take us to the platform. What the platform is all about. Like there is a front end of the platform, there is a back end of the platform. Quickly, no code platform, you can go and configure all these things in the Botminds. So in the front end, you will see amazing magical experiences in matter of seconds and matter of minutes. Okay. So that magic experience he will share with you for 15 minutes. Then we will take a break for we will share the username and password to you during the break. So once it is there, then we will just team it out. Then we will have a hands-on session for the last 1 hour. Right. In the hands-on session, I want you to go and grab any contracts, any tenders, publicly available, usable documents, then ingest in the platform, do all these exercises by your end, and finally, you need to come up with the output document. Okay? So people and team, whoever produces such an output document, you will be certified by Botminds and Civil Engineering Association together at the end of this workshop. This outcome, whatever you generated, needs to published in a LinkedIn kind of social media, and you please tag Civil Engineering Association and Botminds in the LinkedIn, and we will be evaluating your LinkedIn post. Okay, what you have done, you need to crisply write a post there and tag Botminds and Civil Engineering Association of IIT Madras, so that we can see the post and understand and evaluate your post and see what you have done, and then finally we'll award you the certification. That's going to be the flow of the workshop. So are we ready? Right. Okay. So thank you so much. Karthik, please take the dais. Sure. I'll just take 3 minutes to give you the idea about the platform. Then Karthik will demonstrate about the platform. You will be going into the platform live, right, Karthik? Yeah. So Botminds is a enterprise AA platform. Okay. So large enterprises like CMRL, L&T, right? They will just take this platform and build solutions on top of it, right? They can't create one simple software and just like that it will run for 10-15 years, because the world is changing rapidly. So they need an AA accelerator, where if suppose they want to change the class, they want to change the analysis of text analytics in, terms and everything, quickly they have to go and configure in the backend. That is where this kind of platforms comes into picture, right? Now these are the different companies we work with. Maybe you can take a look into it. I'm just moving very fast. I want Karthik to do the live demonstration for you. Right? So these are the different companies we work with. Largest Fortune 50 medical technology company, healthcare company, investment banking, civil engineering, Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, right? Whatnot. So we work with Dubai government directly for the voice of customer solution, right? And we are also a top tier partner with Microsoft. Microsoft comes up with a lot of interesting problem statement. We'll be one of the top tier partners who will be solving those statements across the world. Right? Yeah, and yeah. So as rightly Gokul pointed out, you simply can't use open tools like ChatGPT for your company proprietary data, right? So L&T, CMRL, Indian government data, DeepSeek. Can you just upload all these tenders in DeepSeek and it goes to the communist state of China, or it goes to the Washington, OpenAI, right? Simply not possible, right? And next day when the IT head finds that you use ChatGPT for L&T document, they'll fire you from the job, right? So that is the reason these sorts of tools, the powerful AI tool needs to be there, housed in-house. Right? This tool can be deployed in-house, just like how your AutoCAD can be like installed in your local laptop, right? This can be installed in your cloud. You can deploy the software in your cloud, just like your AutoCAD, like some Kriya and all the project management softwares, right? Just like that, this AI software can be on your cloud. Then on top of the softwares, in AutoCAD you are building designs, here you can building solutions. That's all it is, right? And that's the reason the end-to-end like custom AI solutions and rapid value delivery and high modularity will work. Then these are the few use cases you can think about. Again, why it is important is, like apart from contracts and tenders, the same platform can be used for document processing, like conversational agents, agentic features, mortgage due diligence. Mortgage is what, right? When you build a home, civil engineers, you are selling the home. Then somebody has to take a loan and just like build to buy the home, right? That is what mortgage. For that, thousands of documents, 1,000-page documents are there. So we can able to automate the mortgage due diligence. Same thing goes for healthcare, pharmacovigilance. And same thing goes for healthcare and like investment banking, financial data extraction. Right? Giving you some thoughts so that like your mind will ignite when seeing the platforms. Right? And yeah, this is exactly the solution. The 90% of solution is already pre-built in the Botminds. You are going to do in last 1 hour the first 10% only. What is the document, what is the label, like what are the clause. So those configurations, a little bit of tinkering, the final 10% is what you are going to do it in the last 1 hour. So once you have done it, you will suddenly see a magic of solution there in your laptop, right? So that is the experience we want you to take away with. So Karthik, it would be great if you can start demoing this. Thanks, Karthik.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. Thanks, professors, for the wonderful intro about setting the stage. Also, thanks, Gokul, for the keynote. So, hope you all heard or learned something about AI, and also congratulations, advance congratulations for becoming a AI-powered civil engineers. So, before even getting into the demo or setting things up, I just want to check few things. So most of you are using ChatGPT on your day-to-day activities. So for what are all the things that you usually go to ChatGPT? What are the things you try to, whenever you try to use ChatGPT, what are the things you literally try it for? So just throw some things on. I want to understand, because what are the things you usually prefer to use ChatGPT, that's why. So for what are the daily activities that you usually check with ChatGPT? Anyone? Yes? Oh, great. Then someone, please. Information on? Okay, great. Prepare the reports. That works great. So, sorry? Yeah, that's most important. Even for me, on my day-to-day activity, for everything, I'm just getting into ChatGPT, referring it, and then trying to get some insights out of it. Actually, as rightly Gokul said, it is not our competition, it is definitely an ally. If you understand the use of it, benefit of it, definitely it's an ally. Because it is literally reducing your effort in terms of, as mentioned, you have to go through hundreds of pages of a document. It can give you a summarize of it in just few minutes. So it literally reduces your effort and increases your productivity. So we have to think in that way, so that how these AI tools are enabling us in a better way to see the future along with the AI in a better way. So today we're just going into deep dive of Botminds platform. So it's exactly what we are doing with ChatGPT, but completely in a different way, maybe in a customized way. So let me introduce the platform. Few things I just want to cover today. Just a moment. Okay. So today my topic basically, we are going to decode documents. Decode documents means it can be anything. So the professors, Gokul, Shakti, everyone told about contracts, tenders. It's not only that. So it can be any document. So whatever document, as Professor Murli rightly mentioned, going through the text is a most boring job. So anyhow, he said terms and conditions. We never read that terms and conditions. Always we'll skip that and click on install or continue. But as he rightly mentioned, sometimes it may lead you to some problem when you are dealing with some legal contracts or legal document. Let's say you are signing a agreement with an employer when you are joining a company. So you're not even going through what they have given in terms and conditions. You're just signing it. And later one day, you are doing an activity. Let's say you are taking a leave of 3 days, but you never read about what their leave policy is, and they cut off your salary, they put a LOP for it. You just simply go and fight with them, why is an LOP, but it is mentioned in the policy, you have never read that, because it's purely given in the text format. So we always board on reading the text. So what these AI tools are doing right now is, it is just helping us with, even though it is giving text, instead of going through all these 100 pages, 1000 pages, it just give it to you in 100 words. Maybe it just summarizes what are the key things, what are the risks, what are the policy, everything. You can get a quick insights about it, and then you can get the glimpse of what it is trying to convey to you, so that you will be aware of, you may not know the complete context, but at least you may be aware of what that particular terms or policy are speaking about. So that's what. Even before we get into the contracts, legal documents, tenders, definitely that's a boring thing. We may start the session with something that you are dealing with in your day-to-day life, or even you are trying to join a company, attend an interview. Always you trying to look for a resume, try to borrow it from someone, copy it, and or try to make it more attractive by referring it to internet. But let's think from the employer perspective as well. You are creating a resume. Even going through the entire resume and shortlisting those resume is not an easy task. So let's say if you are posting a career, posting for a LinkedIn post for an interview, easily 500 or 1000 resume may come in. We cannot go through everything. Maybe we'll apply some filters who are all having certain skills. So we'll filter it down. Then we'll look for some location specific profiles, and then we'll look for some experience based profiles. So all this can be done with the help of ChatGPT. And how Botminds can do that, that is what we are going to see as in the very first session. So this is going to be my agenda. So just to throw some light on what Botminds is, and then how we configure everything in Botminds, and then we'll go on a hands-on session. Later we'll see about the real life problems of civil engineering, dealing with larger contracts, because something if you try with the thing that you are already aware of, maybe that will give you some energy to try it out. So that's my plan. And also in the end, it will be always open for questions, but still in the end we'll have a Q&A session as well to clarify all your doubts. So in all my slides, I just keep the text very simple, so I just don't want to give you a lot of things, images, text in the slide. So we'll directly jump into demo. So in a resume, what's the employer's interest usually? He look for relevant experience, skills, or sometimes certifications. Apart from that, even if you have hundreds of resumes still for the role of 2 or 3, we'll apply another filter like location based. If someone resides in Chennai, then we may consider them because they may visit office every day, then they can work from office. So we can apply multiple filters. But to do this, someone from the HR team has to go through each and every resume, filter it down, and then applying every filters one by one, they have to shortlist, right? So that's a tedious process. For that, Botminds, how can Botminds help for that? So we can simply upload the resume, it will give you the insights, all these key insights, and Botminds can help you just filter it, help you in the sense for the HR team, it help them filter it down with just few minutes. Let's say I'm uploading 500 contracts or 500 resumes. In the matter of 15-20 minutes, they will get an insights and then filter down whatever they are looking for. So that's what we are going to demonstrate. Let me directly get into the demo of how the platform look like. Sorry, internet problem, just a moment. So who are all registered yesterday may got a mail from Botminds, welcome mail from Botminds regarding your registration. So now you got the access to the platform, you can play around with it. Ideally your email ID will be the username, and then you can use the default password that we can reveal in some time. Let's see the platform first. So this is Botminds platform. Why Botminds? Even before getting into, as Shakti rightly mentioned, if you are uploading something into ChatGPT, then you are exposing your private content. Few weeks back, last week or 2 weeks back, we all uploaded our image into ChatGPT and tried to create Ghibli out of it. So obviously we are authorizing them to use our content, our image as their knowledge base. So they have their own policy, they are definitely not going to misuse it, but still you are allowing them to use your private photo, your family photo, to make use of their knowledge base as well. So if you are uploading something into ChatGPT or any AI tools, you just simply allow them, give them right to use your content. They will use it for training their model, but it is very proprietary to the organization or very personal to you. So better avoid that. But how organizations are avoiding such situations? There comes a thing called enterprise GPT. So Botminds, being a proprietary platform, having a partnership with Microsoft, Botminds is hosted in Azure cloud. Maybe these terms might be completely new for some of you. Botminds is deployed in Azure cloud, where individual storage space has been allocated, where whatever, even if you try GPT models inside Botminds, that is very well within Botminds. It will not go outside of the Botminds container, and also it is not being pushed into GPT's knowledge. So everything, we just utilizing the GPT's knowledge, that is model functionalities, and we are limiting, like we just limiting the use of your data, just pushing it to the external world, right? So we are limiting that. It's basically a knowledge lock. We call it as knowledge lock. We not allowing your data to go outside of Botminds platform or exposed to the external world. Now let us see how Botminds can handle or process your resume. So when you log into the platform, you might see two different projects under your login. I'll be happy if some of you have tried it, but still it's okay. We'll have a quick session on how to log in and all. So you will see two projects. One is resume analysis and then contact analysis. Let's see how Botminds handles resume. When you log in, you see a tab called documents, in which the list of resumes are already been uploaded, and we have a option to write prompts, which is basically instructions, like what you write in the ChatGPT. You can write a very simple prompt and then convert it to as an AI model. That model will process all your documents. So if you are uploading thousands of documents, the AI model will automatically capture whatever information that you are looking for. So for this demo purpose, I just created this project and then uploaded certain resume from, I just downloaded from online. So let's take this one. Yeah, so here all the things, whatever you are seeing on the right side is an AI predictions. So on the left you see the resume, on the right all these things are captured by Botminds AI models that we built from the backend. So whatever you see on the front end is what the end customer see. But becoming an AI engineer, how to configure all this? That's most important. So let's go one by one. You want to upload any document. Let's say you have a resume right away with you. You want to upload it and then check how this resume parsing is working. You can click on Studio, go to connector, and then we have various options. Options like you can, if you are a tech savvy, then you may explore like integrating with external applications, everything. But just to start with, you can upload anything from your laptop by just clicking on upload file, select the right file, and then let me try it out. Okay. Do it. Open, then upload it. Next, and then add source. That's it. Then the resume will be uploaded. Once uploaded, you want to create a quick AI model. AI model in the sense, AI model, the term might be completely irrelevant or completely new to you, since you might have going through AutoCAD's applications, diagrams. But AI model is something as far as my knowledge, definitely be new to you. So, but now being a AI powered, AI enabled civil engineers, you are also going to create AI models in Botminds platform. Let's go step by step. So how to create an AI model in platform? I'm going to Agent Builder. Here you can see we were giving an option to use all the external, all the GPTs outside. So it can be GPT's own models, DeepSeek, Llama, whatever. It's just purely, since we are dealing with the large enterprises, it's purely like it's their preference. If someone, if L&T being our customer, we are working with L&T as well. So being our customer, if they want to utilize Llama 3 or Mistral, DeepSeek, we allow them to make use of these GPT models as well. But by default, we as a platform, we support all GPT models. Since you are all using ChatGPT, so if you get into ChatGPT, the first thing you see is the tab to type your question. But at the top, you might have seen that the list of models: ChatGPT 4o, 4, O3, O3 mini, 4o mini. All these are models basically which are built to do some purpose, right? For ChatGPT 4 is basically good in understanding the documents, whereas 4o is powered for giving you more reasoning insights, whereas O3 mini are all for trying to handle images, videos in a very better way. So likewise, every model has its own pluses and minuses, but still all this gives you a very nice experience, right? So similarly here in our platform, we integrate all these into our platform, so you can make use of the GPTs. Right now we already have a GPT 4o model enabled for this resume parser, and then exactly like what you have in the ChatGPT, you have a prompt labs here as well. So let me open the existing one. So I just written a very simple prompt. Maybe we have to introduce you how to create a labels as well. We'll do it later. So I just going to do an extraction, and then I just have a very simple prompt. I've not done nothing. So even in Botminds, if you just open a prompt lab, try to create a new prompt, it will automatically gives you this default prompt. I'm just going to use all the existing labels, and then I'm going to select the model. That's it. I can explore or test the model is working fine or not. I'm validating it, then enabling the merge units. That's it. Summit. So now I've asked for a name and then email from the document, from this given document. Now our model is trying to capture the name and the email. So now I'm okay with this model accuracy. I'm just saving it as test model. That's it. Now I have the prompt ready. Okay. So before the era of LLM, creating an AI model is a tedious task. Tedious in the sense you have to buy a virtual machine in cloud, and then GPU. You might have heard about CPU. GPU is the one which is powering all these LLM models, GPUs, and then you have to manually, someone has to do all the annotations first. Annotation in the sense, someone has to sit and train the system, what is name, what is email, what is interest, everything you have to capture, and then some AI ML analyst or ML engineer will come and use that and then train the model. It's an activity of about 2-3 days, or sometimes if you are dealing with a larger data, it can go for months. But right now, we're just writing the instructions, saving it as a prompt, and click off a button, you are generating a model, you have the AI model ready. How to add this model to the pipeline? So I just go to AI pipeline plus selecting the right taxonomy, then choose the right prompt, that's it, adding it to the test model, right. Now model is ready. So the very next time, if you upload any resume, maybe we can try some resume. If you have anything, you can share it with me, we can test it right away. If you have any resume, if you upload it, it will automatically try to capture name and email as one part of the taxonomy, and then the second thing is it will try to capture whatever already been trained for. This is one part. So you are trying to extract some data out of it. There is another part which is more interesting. You can interact with this resume as well. How to interact that? Again, we have a prompt, which is basically, prompt is nothing but a set of instructions. You are defining the platform that you have to do a conversation, you have to do an extraction, you have to do a summarization. So you are just defining that, and then based on the preference what you have selected, it is giving the answer. So let me show you the chat prompt what we have. So again, it's a default one. I just written a one-liner stating that you are a helpful AI assistant to analyze the resume. That's it. Rest of the things are given default by the Botminds. And then a quick option is Botminds can also help with a follow-up questions in the chat window. So you can, if you have tried out Perplexity AI, which is more like ChatGPT, but it is also powered by ChatGPT. Perplexity AI is nothing, it's one another application where you can, even before ChatGPT, they have introduced the web research. So 6 months before, if you are using ChatGPT, it might have the knowledge of till September 2023. Later it has been upgraded up to April 2024, I think. So beyond that, if you are asking any question with the ChatGPT, if you are asking a question about any incident happened, it might not answer. But later they have enabled a feature called web search. You might have seen that in the ChatGPT window itself. So it is enabling the ChatGPT to go and search something in the internet and then try to get that information and summarize it. So even before ChatGPT introduced that, Perplexity AI is another company that introduced this facility. So whatever question you ask, it act like a search engine, try to get the right information from the web, and with the help of ChatGPT it will summarize it, and also it will give you the follow-up questions. Follow-up question means you are dealing with a large page document and you are asking a question. Let's say you are asking about a risk, but you may not have an idea about what the next question you have to ask. So the Perplexity or even the Botminds now itself can suggest you what could be the next possible question based on your previous question. So it can suggest you some questions and you can click on the question to get the answer. So that is also possible. That's what follow-up questions are. Again, very simple. We are just going to select the model and then save it as a prompt. It is already there. Let us interact with one of the resumes we already have. So we have a chat icon, chat button in the resume part. So it is now open. Already I have tried certain questions. So from this given resume, I just want to see what are the skills are. So just listing out the skills. And also it is suggesting some follow-up questions. You can click on it and get the answer. And then from the HR perspective, I am asking a question like whether is he fit for a non-IT role or not. So just analyze the context and then saying that he has extensive experience in software engineering, but still he played non-IT roles as well. So he might be fit for this role, but again we have to tune this model to give you a more perfect answer. Let's say I started my career in a non-IT profile and move to an IT profile. So if someone offers me a non-IT job right now, I'll definitely not pick up, right? Definitely never choose that, because I am getting a better exposure and then better salary in IT jobs. So why should I even go for a non-IT role right now? So in that scenario, we may have to train the prompts, train the model with the right prompts, right instructions, so that it gives you a better reply, better answer, or answer what you are looking for. So you have seen the screenshot what Gokul shared, right? It is just describes who is Gokul basically. So on a day-to-day basis, if you are interacting with ChatGPT, just store all your conversation as is into its memory. I hope most of you here knows Tamil, right? I tried ChatGPT. I just initiated a conversation. I don't know whether ChatGPT knows Tamil or not, but just initiated a conversation. Tamil theriyuma? Do you know Tamil? That's my question. It's just simply replied like, bro, எனக்கு நல்லா தெரியும். So I know Tamil. That's the reply. So later I just start conversing with it. I just start to give my insights, inputs as, see, it just interact with me in a colloquial Tamil. Colloquial Tamil means in the normal terms how we speak, right? In the same context, it starts to converse with me, and somehow it identifies my location as well. So how everything is in Chennai. So I started. How do you know? I'm in Chennai. So based on how you speak, I guess that you are in Chennai. So I later give an insight like, hey, I'm not in Chennai right now. I'm in somewhere. So okay, it's okay. You moved to somewhere. It's okay. So how everything is in there? Literally, I said that I'm in Kumbakonam. Oh, you are in Kumbakonam. It's a beautiful temple town. So you have a lot of temples to visit there. So did you visit the nearest temple? I think Kumbeshwar temple. I think. So did you visit the temple? He just asked me a question. So I then replied back like, hey, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. So I don't visit there. Oh, that's very perfect. You are an atheist. Then why you? It's conversing like why you become an atheist. What pushed you to become an atheist? So I just converse with it. Later, you may not believe, in the very recent times, I'm very possessive about ChatGPT because my wife avoids me and most of the time she interacts with ChatGPT because it act like a partner. Act more like a partner. It simply behave like a partner, gives you all the positivity. Definitely it will always gives you positivity. It will never let you down. So even if you ask any question, it will try to answer it in a positive way. That's a plus point about ChatGPT. Maybe we are deviating somewhere, but still. So why I started this is we have to give right insights, right questions, right inputs to GPT or whatever the models that you are trying to, whatever AI tools you are using. So you have to use the right terms, right instruction. It will give you right answer. So that's what I'm trying to say here. So okay. So setting things up in Botminds is very simple. You're just going to create a project, create a labels, create a prompt, and then add it as a model. So you can upload any documents, whatever you are trying to look for, it will give you answers. So it is very simple. Maybe on the resume part, we may not have much things to discuss. Maybe in the next session, we'll look deeper into contracts, tenders, RFPs, how these things are very difficult for the human to consume. So we'll look everything deep into it. But ideally, setting up setting things up in Botminds is very easy. Maybe we'll take few minutes of break and then we'll try log into the Botminds platform first. If you want, we can explore this resume analysis once again. Maybe you can try it on your own, and then we'll move on to the core thing of how contracts, tenders, everything is being handled by Botminds, or how Botminds helps to process all these larger documents. We'll see it in the next session. Hey, thank you. We'll visit again after the short break. Yes.
I hope all of you have the ideal passports. If not, then I think in the break you can just meet with him.
Sure.
So post break you will have a hands-on session. So I request all of you. I hope you have your laptops with you. Yeah. So I'm going to be getting the Wi-Fi connection. So you can connect it and you can explore it and just try to make the best use of whatever access you have been given. We'll break for 10 minutes and we'll be again back. And in the meantime, if anybody has any tech-related questions, you can just meet Karthik and get your login IDs and password. Next. So Karthik is here. Can sort out if you have any questions or putting up or logging in. If you don't have any credentials, login credentials, you can just approach. I request you all to open your laptops, keep it ready so that in the next 10 minutes we can start. Please go for the break, come back, we'll start. Back in 5-10 minutes, as early as possible. So from the resume, picking up some information from resume. This might look for you, it might appear that okay, it's a very simple thing, why can't I pick it up just like that, and why do you need a tool for doing all these things? But this is only, you're trying to understand how this information is picked up from the document. But imagine, instead of a 2-page resume, you have a 1000-page document. Right? So the ease with which you can deal with this 2-page document, you cannot deal with it in a 1000-page document. And in a resume, you know what is name, you know what is an email ID, so it's easy for you to spot that in your 2-page document. But when you are talking about construction contract document and tender document, there will be 1000 things that are not so obvious and not so easily identifiable just by looking at the document. Right? And that's where this knowledge that you're going to gain today can be used for a more complex document. Okay, so think of it as something that you're trying to learn using a simple document. Right? So with that mentality, I want you to look at it so that tomorrow, when you really go back to the industry or when you sit in an interview, right? So when they ask you what more do you know other than your colleagues or your fellow students in the class, you can tell them that you give me your 1000-page contract document, in a second I can pick you 10 most important things that you want in that. Right? So that confidence you have to say, then you should know how it is done. And that's the reason why Karthik is going to help you do this on your own. So I request all of you to take this seriously, work on it, extract information from whatever document you have, and then see for yourself as to how it can be applicable. See, unless you think of how to apply this in the field in the future, whatever you have learned today will remain here only. Right? You need to think, how do I extend this? How do I make my life simple? Right? So maybe you have a 100-page document, something else, not contract, not construction related document, some 100-page document, you want to simplify that. Easily you can do it. Right? So please think about it from that angle and work on it. Also, as Shakti requested some time ago, he told that it would be good if you can come up with your output and put it on LinkedIn and tag Botminds CEA and show them that you have done something today, I've learned something today, which is good. But I also try to tell you that do not use any personal documents for analysis today. right? So you can use any general document, any PDF document that you can download for internet or whatever it is. Or if you have a resume, yes, resume is something that you want other people to know. There's no harm in putting up your resume in a social media platform unless you personally don't want to do it. But otherwise, putting up your resume in a social media platform is not a bad idea, because that will help attract recruiters towards your resume. So maybe you can use your resume, but do not use any other personal document or your college assignments or anything like that, right? So just be cautious about what you are using it for, because ultimately the importance is that you need to learn, and for that any simple document will do. Okay, so with this background, let's start off. Let's try to do this hands-on. Yes, I hope all of you are connected to the Wi-Fi, and if there are any problems, please tell our coordinators. They are here, Saranya and team, they are here, and you can approach them in case of any technical issues. Botminds related problems, if you have any, Karthik is there. Maybe he will come around, walk around you in during the demo sessions, and you can approach him if you have any questions. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thanks. So, welcome back. So, overall registered for this event yesterday, till yesterday, so you might have got an email from Botminds regarding your registration. If not, then you can directly go to any of the browser and then ping app.botminds.ai, that's the application URL, and you can use your email ID, whatever you are used to register for this event, and then default password would be botminds at 123. So on your very first login, it will ask you to reset your password, so you can set your own password and then set your profile as well. So you can try it out right away. Maybe we can go to next things once you all have logged into the platform.
I hope all of you have done this, registered and able to log in into that page. Anybody still doing this? Please raise your hands. Okay. We'll wait for a couple of minutes. If you have any problem, please let us know. Quickly do this. There are some charging points available here. Those who need charging points can simply bother and take the charging points. But the catch is you should come forward.
First of all, is the application accessible? App.botminds.ai, is it accessible to everyone?
If you have any problems, please raise your hands and tell your problems.
You guys don't get your laptops?
shall we? So everyone logged in? Any issues logging in?
I hope all of you have logged in. Yes? There's some reaction here, come on. Yes?
Okay. Okay, shall we start play around with the platform? So yeah, as Murli sir mentioned, we can try it out with any simple document. If you have a resume, that will be great. Otherwise, no issues. You can download any simple document from online, or any document you have, you can upload. So let's directly get into the action mode. So you hope you all reset the password, right? So once you log in, it will automatically ask you to reset it, and also ask you to set your profile. Once done, you will see a window where the list of projects. Right now I'm in my login, so that's why you are seeing multiple projects here. Maybe hopefully you will see just 1 or 2 projects. Recently people added people might not see any projects. Maybe we have to enable the access to you. So we'll do it. If you're not seeing any project, please let me know. I'll do it right away.
This document can be Word, PDF,
Yes.
any document, Word, PDF. Preferably use your resume. I hope all of you have your resume. Right? Now which year are mostly from? So how many of you are from second year? That's the reason not many resumes. Okay. Third year? Okay. Final year? I don't expect that. Right. Fine. So just look for any document, that's any publicly available document. Just go to Google, download some story, something, some document, or say Constitution of India, whatever it is. Download some document which you will be getting from internet, and don't use any personal document of yours. Don't use any college assignment or any internal document of your college, or use any newspaper article, Times of India article, Indian Express article, some document, some news article also, it's okay. Just extract that and put it in a Word file, or if it is in a form Word file or PDF, just keep it with you. We'll start with that.
Or even if you don't find anything, maybe we have some sample resumes. Sample resumes as well, so you can rename it and then use it if you want. So if you are in the platform, you can see the resume analysis. We call it as project. If you click on it, you will see a studio menu here. So this is where all the configurations, so from the front end you will see the dashboard, documents, predictions, but how to configure all these happening inside the studio menu. So go to studio menu, and on the left side you see multiple options here. If you are not having any ready document, means click on data lake, you will see a sample resumes. You can download it to your local and then rename it, because if you try to upload it in the same name, the system will not let you in, so it will consider it as duplicate. So rename it and make it ready. Okay.
Karthik, this will give some 2 minutes. Like, I hope all of you are able to download some of these resumes. Are able to access these resumes? Yeah? So please download any random 3-4 resumes and keep it in your local in your system. And rename the files as told by Karthik.
Hope you all downloaded some resumes. And then we'll move on to the very next step. The very next step is uploading the resumes, uploading any document into the platform. So how to do that? In the same studio, you will see a connector option. So click on that. You will see an option called ingestion. So if you click on plus add data source, you will see a lot of options here. Right now we can try with direct upload from the local. You have to click on upload file, select the right file, maybe whatever resumes you have, select that and click on open. It will just have an upload and then click on next, then click on add source. Will directly upload the documents whatever you have, which is resumes, into the system. Also, maybe we just move on to the next one. First, try to upload the document. Please let me know once time. Shall we? Yes, click on next and then click on add source. That's it. The system will take few minutes to upload the document into the platform. But ideally, here we missed a point. So right now, around 20-30 people are here. All are trying to upload document into one single project. So maybe you may not know which are the documents that you have uploaded. That may create a confusion, right? So there is a way to handle that. In the very first page itself, you can create a own project, maybe completely new project in your name or in the use case that you are dealing with. Let's say here, resume analysis means the purpose of the project is to analyze the resume. Likewise, contract analysis will only analyze the contracts. So we have models, everything very related to that particular use case, right? So we can create a completely brand new project by clicking on add new project. You can give the name and description, and then you can input, basically cloning. You already have a resume analysis project, you already have access to the resume analysis project, but you want to make a copy of it. In generally software cycle, we will not do everything on the production front. So we'll have a developer environment. We'll develop everything in a developer environment. If everything is working fine, then we'll push it into production environment. So likewise, when you are building something, maybe you can follow this everywhere, but specifically in Botminds, if you are building something, developing something, you can create a development project, develop a developer project, so that you can upload, test, write prompts, models, everything you can try it out there, and then finally you can import it, simply clone it. So just give any project name you want, just to it's your wish, and then click on import. Will allow you to choose the subscription name, which is IIT Madras, and then the projects that you have access to. So right now you may see only two projects, resume analysis and contract analysis. If you choose resume analysis, let me add this as resume test, and then description as resume test, and then click on create. Means it just create a copy of it. Resume test, maybe more people are trying to create it in the same name. Maybe add some identifier. Then only as a admin I can see all the projects, but you were allowed only to see the projects that you have created. Okay, let me refresh. Oh. lots of projects here. Okay. So if you do this, you will get a copy of it. So whatever models, chats, whatever configurations you have done in the previous project, right, that will be as a copy here. So again, if you want, you can upload the same resume here in this project by going to Studio, Connector, Upload File, add data source and upload file. Just upload the sample resumes here as well. In
Karthik, just to make it clear, so they do this so that they get their own project.
exactly,
Rather than putting everything into the common project.
exactly,
They are doing this, which is their own individual project.
exactly.
Okay.
Even tomorrow, if you want to explore something different, you can use the same project, or you can create your, every time you can create a new project, you are allowed to do, and that is visible only to you. Not everyone can see. So there are about 20-30 people, so you cannot see the others one project. Only you have access, admin access can see that. So no problem, you can create a number of projects, you can upload documents, any document. If you want to create, tomorrow if you want to create something completely new, you can do it by creating a new project.
So I hope all of you are with Karthik, right? So created your own project, all of you, yeah, and cloned it, put the same information into that, imported the resume builder information into that. Yes, anybody facing problem, you can raise your hands and get it clarified from Karthik. Yeah, so
Okay.
we have some problems.
Sorry. Yes.
He'll come here, he'll come here. So we expect you to see some results today, okay? So please work along with Karthik so that you are not lost in the process. Yeah, so we'll come. So Karthik, she has. How's that later? Come on, do whatever. This is always you can keep doing it. Just 1 hour you spent in doing something. Okay. Take this as an opportunity to learn something new. Not every time, every day you learn. Right? So, because it knows what it trains now. Because somebody has done the labeling saying that okay, if the text is like this, it is introduction. So from the book information, larger information that you are observing, it takes that information which will fit as introduction and it throws saying that this is introduction. That way it is trained on identifying certain aspects from the document. That's what we call labeling. So in this exercise, let's say you are approving a resume, then you ask the question, what is the name in the resume? So it extracts the name and gives it. It's a very simple thing that you can do it when you by reading it also. But this exercise is these kind of labelings you can do it to complex document. You can answer questions from a complex document. Right? Rather than this is only for one page document. But or imagine you are sitting on the other side, HR side, you get say studying 10,000 applications. So rather than going through each of these applications, you upload everything and just in all these applications, pick the only those applications wherein people have an experience of working with Java. Filter everything. Right. So when the system should understand where exactly this word comes, or it's Java is a single word, so it can pass for features. But let's say you are asking a complex question, say filter all those resumes, all those people have done like non-IT experience. Now nobody will write in the resume that I have a non-IT experience, but it has to read through the entire resume and find out words which are having the meaning of non-IT and extract those resumes saying that these are the non-IT resumes. So, but how does it know that something is non-IT? Because you already trained it with other 100 documents. Saying that if it is written like this, it is non-IT. If it is written like this, it is IT. So when next document will come, it will automatically say, okay, it is written like this, so it will match with a label called non-IT, so it will extract from it. Correct. Right. Right. Correct. So they say they are using it, but I don't know for what purpose they are using it. Botminds might do it, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to get it. Yeah. So, okay, anyways, I work here as a so I use the tool. My students are maybe you can talk to Karthik or Shakti. So the PTM here is
Okay, so we see multiple projects here in resume, and also some of you have raised query that whatever you have created is not visible. Okay, I can see, but let me try to give you access. If you are not able to access the project that you have created, maybe you can contact me just after this one. You can still go ahead and use the resume analysis project for the time being. Right? Someone created this resume analysis, my name, so it is there. Okay. Okay. Then a very next step is, see, we have spent so much time in creating the project. Maybe we will quickly move on to the next steps. So we created a new project called Karthik Project Demo. So just to give you a glimpse of how it look like. So
they have to log into their
yes, if they log in, they will see contract analysis, resume analysis, also the project that you have created right now.
They are creating the project they have created.
Yes.
So basically you need to see a screen something like this.
Okay, so let me get into the new project that I have created. If you go to Studio menu, so you can see option called Process Center. So here you can see I haven't created anything, but the existing resume parser, labels, all been cloned here. Also, the LLM model, whatever I've chosen there, and prompts, whatever been written in the parent project, everything is been cloned here. The idea here is, whenever you are setting up something, you are trying it out with in the development project. Once everything is done, you simply clone it into a production project. So that's the idea here. Now, if we have the resume parser, taxonomy and labels. Taxonomy is nothing but a set of labels, that's it. Now we are dealing with resume parser. Maybe if you are dealing with a contract or something like you are trying to do some analyze your assignments, let's say, take it as an example. So you want to capture certain information from the document. So you want, first thing you will do is you just go through a document and summarize or list it out, what are the things that you are aiming to capture out of the given document, right? So that is what primarily the labels are. How to create this one? So the very first step is, so Studio, Process Center, Data Capture, click on Create, and then you can add a taxonomy. Let's say here I am going to capture only the skills part of it. So just to capture the skills, I am adding a new taxonomy. And then I am just keeping it as section classification. I am not changing anything here. Submit. Now I have the taxonomy ready. Taxonomy is nothing but, as I said, it's a set of labels. Inside that, I am going to list down what are the exact labels or thing that I am going to capture from a given document. Let's say I am going to capture skill, and then inside that maybe I'm further looking it for IT skill and then non-IT skill. So in this way you can create a label, right? So please try it out. Studio, Process Center, Data Capture, and then you are adding a taxonomy, which is basically a group of labels, a name for the group of labels, and then inside that you are adding a label. Again, let's say you have 2 labels, 3 labels, fine. What if you want to capture hundreds of information? Ideally from the contract, you always try to capture 100, 200 of information depending upon the requirement, right? In that case, we can do bulk upload as well. So bulk upload in the sense, if you click on plus label, you see an option called add bulk label. Here you can upload a text file, Excel file. Excel would be easy to formulate the structure. So how that will look like? Let's open an Excel. See, I already have the list of labels that are useful for the resume parser. Maybe I'll create a completely new one. So as I mentioned, my parent label will be skill. Okay, sorry. So my parent label will be skill, and then I'm adding a new label called IT skill and then non-IT skill. Then I'm thought of adding few other labels as well. Experience, which is IT experience, non-IT experience. Right? So I'm just dragging this. Now I have the taxonomy ready. Taxonomy is nothing but, as I mentioned, set of labels, and you just have the list, and I'm gonna save it just for uploading it. Now I'm going to upload the file here. So click on upload, click on skills, whatever file name you have created, click on open and then upload. See, already we have this labels. Under skill we have IT and non-IT skill, but it is quite different, which is it's in a small case, it's in upper case, so it is considered these two as different. And then experience, IT experience, non-IT experience. So you don't have to add labels one by one. If you have the list of labels, just put it in an Excel file, upload it. Now we have the document, we have the label. The very next step is instruct the models to capture these informations out of it.
So if you can just relate it to what happens in the construction, I just want to make sure what, suppose say you have a tender document, you are working in a construction organization, you have a tender document, so your client is, there's a client who wants to construct some building and they have released some tender documents in the public domain and you have downloaded the document and you will read, actually speaking, what happens is you will read that 1000 page, 2000 page document one by one, annexures, sub documents and all those things, and you will have to make sense out of it. So after doing all these things, your boss will ask something called tender appreciation document, right? So wherein you will have to give a summary because your bosses will not have time to read 1000 pages. So they will ask you for, alright, just tell me 5 minutes what this document is all about. So they will expect 5-10 things from this document, like who is the client, name of the client, then what is the value of the contract, how many years this project has to be constructed. So these are the labels that Karthik is talking about. Like the first label could be client information. Some information in that could be the name of the client, the address of the client, right? Whether it is a government client or a private client or it's a PSU client. Next information could be the cost information. What is the estimated cost of the project, right? And what is the penalty in the contract if you're completing the project late. So these are the key things which your bosses will look for in your document. And if you start doing it manually, it will take maybe a week or 10 days and you might do mistakes also. You might miss out on a few things. Because at a time you won't work with a single tender, you will work with some 30-40 tenders at a time. So you will not have time, right? But if you can pass this document or you can identify these labels from this document, put that in the form of a family like what he's showing, it's in a different context that he's showing. Upload this information, next time you have a document, upload it, it will automatically capture this information from the tender document and prepare a beautiful report for you in maybe 5-10 minutes. Right? So don't throw it on the face of your boss, saying that take this report. Right? Now don't do that. Risk your job, but just like I said, yeah.
Hey, thanks, Murli. So, yeah, as he rightly said, yes, that's what we are trying to summarize here, not the throwing on the face, but trying to summarize the document. So we have the labels now. The very next step is you are going to write a simple or a complex prompt depending on your ability or prompt engineering skills, but based on my experience, I would say that keep your prompts very simple. Even if you are interacting with ChatGPT, if you are giving a simple information or information in a very simple form or English, it will understand it better. If you are trying to give more inputs to it, it will definitely hallucinate. So why? Because it has been trained with billions of data information. So till April 2024, whatever the web pages, whatever the documents which are available online, the GPTs used it to consume, understand and improve in its knowledge. So if you try to give a complex instruction, then definitely it will hallucinate. So try to keep your prompts very simple. To write a prompt, again in the same studio, go to Agent Builder. So right now we have a restriction in Botminds that not every LLM models, whatever you see here, you cannot add it on your own. You need admin's help to add this. Right now, the existing GPT-4o resume test, if you clone this project, you can still use this GPT-4o project in any of your next projects as well. So if you are cloning it, if you want to add it on your own, then you have to reach out to me then for adding a new completely new model to the project. Right now, use whatever available. So you have the prompts, and then on the prompts, we are going to create something new. We will not rely on resume parsing. LLMs.
So this, just to make things clear to everyone, so this GPT-4 resume,
Yeah.
So yeah, this GPT-4 resume test is
not only resumes, it's a GPT-4o model. Exactly. Maybe just to give a unique name, we named it as resume test, but no, it is not like that. We are going to fine tune it right away. So now we have the prompt, go to the prompts, and then we will create a brand new prompt. Okay, so click on create, will give a pop-up. This is more exactly like what you do with the ChatGPT. So in ChatGPT, just upload a document and then you'll ask a question, it will give you an answer. But here just following few other instructions as well. Maybe you are narrowing down further into what to use, what are the instructions you have to follow, what are the labels you have to consider, and for each label what are the instruction for it, and then what task you have to do. Task in the sense, either it has to extract, or it can act as a chatbot, it can act as a summarize chat as well, summarize bot as well. So right now we will try it out with extraction. Whatever we have uploaded is a PDF. Then the prompt labs itself gives a basic prompt. You can still leverage that. Leverage in the sense, it is enough to give you an the expected answer, because you are not only giving these instructions, in your prompt you are also selecting whatever label that you are looking for. So when you are hitting a document, when you are uploading a document, it considers two things. One is, what is the prompt you have written, what are the labels that you are looking for. These two will go as an input to the models and then give you answers. Now let us select the LLM model, and then let's say if you are dealing with a larger documents, let's say contract documents, it has 200, 300, 500 pages, answers also might be in the same length, right? So here it's a resume, maybe 256 length is enough. If you are dealing with larger documents, you can set the output length that you are expecting. So it can be any numbers randomly. If the system is not giving you the complete answer, maybe you can expand it to the maximum level and then try. So let's set it up something like 699, and then I'm going to test it with one of the documents from the okay, I don't think we have documents here, sorry. Okay, I missed to do that part. Maybe you would have uploaded the documents here. Let me upload while we do that. Done. I've uploaded it, and then again go into prompt labs, creating a new prompt, PDF, taxonomy, skills, choosing the right labels, and then choosing the right labels, and then choosing the right model. That's it. And then on the right is a playground. Playground is nothing but, you'll just have to give a document URL. Document URL is nothing but the URL whatever you see when you click on the document. See, okay, this is the document URL. So I'm going to copy it, add it here, validate it. Maybe you have to select this one, merge units.
If you can just show how they got the URL.
Okay.
It's quite fast, so
Okay. So usually when you log in, you will see the documents here. Right? So when you click on the document, at the top you will see the URL. You just copy it and then use it here just to test whether your model is working fine or not. So added the URL here, validated it, you will get a message like valid document, and then enable merge units. So merge units nothing but when you are dealing with a smaller document, you can instruct the model, instruct the prompt to consider the whole document as one single context. Right? If you are dealing with hundreds of pages of documents, then you may not expect the system to do that. So even in Botminds, it's a technical thing, but if you upload a larger document, it will consume every 20 page, split every 20 pages one single document, and then try to capture something out of it, and then final it will collate everything together and produce the output. So that's how in the background it is working. Why? Because to give you a output in a very speedy way. If you ask the machine to go through all the 500,000 pages, it may take hours to consume it. So to make it faster, in the backend the system splits everything into 20 pages and then process everything in parallel and then finally collates everything. So that is happening in the background. Whereas here it's a single page document. So if you enable the merge units, it will give you, ideally it is giving the complete context of the resume to the model, and then click on submit, will give you the answers that the system is producing, that the model is producing for the labels that you are selected here. So IT skill, C++, Java, non-IT skill is a Docker, it is mentioning, and then IT experience, software engineering, and then non-IT experience also, it is maybe it is we haven't defined anything here. We just given that you are an assistant and then answer based on the context. So right now it is giving incorrect answers for two labels, which is non-IT skill and non-IT experience. Maybe we have to write a specific instruction, right, for non-IT, capture or provide me. So until you get the right answer or the expected answer, you may try to fine tune it, and then based on the fine tuning. See, right now it is giving answer only for non-IT because you explicitly mentioned that non-IT should give only the non-IT experience and skills. We missed to mention about IT. So for IT, we capture only IT related. Now, still the system can give incorrect answer because the system may not know what is IT, what is non-IT. So in that way, you may give some examples like what is IT. It can be C++, Java, it can be anything related to programming languages. Whereas non-IT skills is collaborate. Likewise, in the experience as well, you can define an example like IT experience could be more like a software engineer, developer in the core IT skill. Non-IT can be a business analyst. So maybe I'm seeing everything from the perspective of how my resume or what my skills are. Your things can be completely different, but you can fine tune the prompt here until you get the right answer. And then once you are okay with what you are getting, we just simply save it. So skills capture, right? That's it. So now the prompting is done. You have any queries on the prompting, how to create a prompts or how to set the prompts up? Maybe if not now, explore later as well. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any query. So you created a prompt right now, and then how to convert it as an AI model. As I mentioned in the previous session itself, AI model creation is a very tedious task earlier, not in Botminds platform, but if you are doing it outside, you may need a cloud machine, VM machines, and then GPUs. So it's a very tedious task. Right now, Botminds make it very simple. We have the prompt. Yes.
So at one point we get the right answer.
Exactly.
So this would be the instruction that we will be using it for future
Exactly.
extraction of information from future documents.
Exactly.
So now once I save this prompt, this particular project now knows how to
Exactly.
It is not trained on or fine-tuned on.
Yes.
So this you are going to convert it into a AI model, whose job is only to identify IT skills and non-IT skills.
Exactly.
Right. So that is the model that you want to create now.
Yeah.
So that future I upload a resume, it is able to give me IT skills and non-IT skills.
Yes. So we have the prompt called skill capture, and we can generate a model just clicking on generate model. The model is generated. So how to use that for the upcoming or the documents that you are going to upload it in the future, right? For that, you have to go to AI Builder, where in the AI pipeline you can see that resume parsing is already we have tested it out. It captures all the information, name to everything. Test model is that we have tried out during the previous session. Now I'm gonna add one more model by clicking on plus and then select the right taxonomy here, which is skills, and it's a prompt model. So skills capture, that's it. I'm going to add. Now model is added to the pipeline. Yes. Okay, let me delete the older ones. So we have the prompt ready, and then to add it, to create it as a model, you will have a button called generate model. Even if you want to use this prompt but fine tune it further, means you don't have to write something from the scratch. If you click on clone prompt, it will just create a clone of what it is, and then you can add all your additional inputs as well, and then save it. Let me save it as skill capture 1. So now you can see that skill capture 1 has also been added to the prompt list. So you can use that to generate a model. So model is ready now. To add the model to the pipeline, we are going to AI Builder, AI Pipeline. Now we have the resume parsing model, which has already been done. I'm going to add a new model. Click.
What do you mean by adding a model to a pipeline?
So just prompt is not going to capture anything. Whatever been added to the AI pipeline, which is nothing but you are instructing the Botminds system to apply these models in this order to capture something from the incoming document. So it can be, if you upload a resume, it will not capture anything unless you instruct that these are the models I have, and you have to add it to the pipeline. Pipeline means segmentation model. Basically, it will understand the document. Then whatever models you have created, it will get applied one by one, and then the ultimate purpose of this model is to capture the skills and non-skills out of it. So you are instructing the Botminds system to capture the skills and non-skills from the incoming document. It will do only when you add it to the pipeline, otherwise it will not do. So prompt, if you are simply adding a prompt, will not help. You have to add it as a model to the pipeline. So I am adding it here. So click on plus. You have to choose the taxonomy. Taxonomy is skills, that is what we have created, and then it's a prompt model. So these things are not required for now. Maybe we can make it very simple. We have the prompt model, and then for the prompt model we have a skill capture, also skill capture 1. So we have 2 versions of the model. So let us go with the skill capture 1, and then click on add. Now the model is ready. Model is added to the pipeline. So next time, if you upload a resume, it will capture the skills, IT skill, non-IT skill, experience, IT experience, non-IT experience, all these from the given document. It is not only for the future documents, even for the existing documents you can test it out. How? Just select one of the document, go to options, and you can see an option called rescore. If you click on it, it will just apply the existing models, whatever models added to the pipeline, to the existing document as well. But for sure, whenever you upload a new document in the future, it will apply all these models. Let's see. You can see that it is scoring in progress. Yeah. skills got captured. For the existing document as well, you can upload a new document and test as well. So any queries on how to create a prompt, how to create a model, then how to add the model to the pipeline?
Resume parser was something that you were already done.
Yes.
So that is also being updated on.
Yes, because that's already there in the pipeline. If I don't want,
Choose which one to choose from the pipeline.
no, we can delete that from the pipeline. Yeah, there is an option, maybe that at the advanced stage means we can create multiple pipelines also. Depending upon the document, you can, system can choose the pipeline and apply, but that is an advanced stage. Maybe to start with, we'll go with one pipeline, right? So the document is uploaded. I've not uploaded anything, I just rescored the existing document, and then you can see the skills and non-IT skills here. This is one way of getting insights from the document. There is another way, which is basically a conversational AI chatbot, like what you did with ChatGPT.
So just before we proceed further, are you able to do this? Able to see this output, the skills? Anybody stuck there? Yeah, you can ask a question.
Okay. Okay. You have to choose a taxonomy first at the top. Segmentation, you will see a segmentation there. If you click on it, you have to choose, you can see the taxonomy there. Choose the taxonomy that you have created a prompt, and then click on prompt. That will give the model. Okay. If you click on add, then that will be added to the pipeline. Yeah. Great. Someone tried it and explored
Others
it.
who are tried, stuck, lost somewhere, please feel free to ask him the question. He's here to help you out. So if you're not asking, I assume that you have done this, you have got this output, and you're able to see that you have identified certain information from the resume that you have uploaded.
Okay, shall we? Okay, so the second way, as I mentioned, it's a conversational AI chatbot, in simple terms, maybe ChatGPT. So you can interact with this document and get some insights out of it. How to do that? Again, you are going to create a prompt for it. So go to Studio, Agent Builder, and then prompts. We already have a prompt for chatbot, but let us create something new. Same way, plus create, select the task as chat. So you are instructing the prompt to do only chat, act as a chatbot, and then the default instructions has come, and then select the appropriate model, and you want the prompt to give you a follow-up questions as well. Maybe in the next 10-15 minutes I can show you some real-time examples on how it is giving fantastic follow-up questions according to the use cases. If you want follow-up questions, you can enable this and then select the model, right? That's it. Again, the maximum length is what the size of the output you are expecting. So if you want the model to summarize it in 200 words, you can limit it to 200, or if you want to summarize it to 1000 words, you can accordingly increase the length. Most importantly, if you are dealing with documents like contract or tender, even resume, you have to choose this option called knowledge log, which is nothing but the system will not send your data out or bring anything into the system from the outside world. But since these are all LLMs, ChatGPT based models, it will have its own knowledge from the outside world. But Here, by enabling this knowledge log, we are instructing the system to process or limit only within the document. So if you are asking any question, it will just limit to answer only from the document. So enable the knowledge log and then we'll test it out. Here itself, I'm doing at the project level. You can do maybe for the extraction, you would have seen two options, text, document. Whereas for the chatbot, you have three options, text, document, project. What does it mean? So when in text, you can copy paste any text from the online or from the document and then ask your questions here. It will try to answer according to the prompt. In the if you are enabling document means you just copy paste the document URL, copy and paste the document URL here, validate it and then ask any question. Project means in the project level you may have tens of hundreds of documents. So if you want any summarization, if you want to get any insights from the overall project considering all the documents, you can go with the project. So it gives a summary like who is Tarun Reddy and what his complete capability is, and also it is giving some follow-up questions as well. So what challenges did you face? So it is more like it just try to understand the context of the resume and giving the follow-up questions. So if you are not okay with the follow-up questions, then we are allowed to change the prompt of the follow-up questions as well. So if you have any use case or if you have anything specific want to ask, give us a follow-up question, you can fix the follow-up question prompt as well. And then let's save as chatbot. Done. So now the chat prompt is ready. How to test, you already tested, but how to interact with the document. So you can do it at two levels. One is at the project level, again at the document level. Let's do something at the project level first. So you have to choose the prompt that you are interested in. Maybe let's try with chatbot. And I'm asking question as summarize all the resumes or summarize the resumes who has IT experience. I already got the answer, but let me try it in a new chat. Yeah. So maybe based on the documents, what are the resumes, it has identified that Tarun Reddy only has the IT experience. So though we have three different resumes, it has shortlisted Tarun Reddy and just give the overview about what Tarun Reddy experience and skills are. So this is at the project level. Maybe if I want to do something at the document level, I'll go into the document and then on the document you see a chat icon, expand chat. If you click on it, you can do the same here, right? Okay, it just summarizes the information. So what is the contact, education, technical skills, work experience, everything. It's just summarized. So similarly, you can do document level chat, project level chat. So the chatbot is actually an interesting feature. Interesting feature in the sense, you just instead of going through the complete document or asking the system to do something through AI model, you just simply ask question and get the right output, get the output instantly. That will give you some confidence or some insights, quick insights about what is mentioned in the given document. So maybe when you are exploring something, start with this chatbot kind of process, so that you will get automatically into the process, or it will help you to explore more about the product, right? So now we have done the upload, taxonomy creation, prompt creation, model creation, then chatbot creation, then applying the model to extract something out of the document. All these are done. So this is what the basics you have to learn just to start exploring. So maybe there are some advanced features as well, but we can, if anyone interested, we can do a completely different session to give you a glimpse about what are the detailed or advanced features. So, but to start with, this is enough, I would say. So you have the option, you can create project, upload document, create prompt, explore it, and then even create a chatbot, and then interact with the document. So any queries on the complete process? If you have any queries, we can handle, we can discuss right now, or else maybe in next 5 minutes we'll move on to see quickly see what are all the real-time scenarios, real-time use cases that the industry is facing, and then the real-time demos that we are already have to solve the those scenarios. Basically, it's created for larger enterprises like L&T, Nippon Quai. So we can see all those demos in next 5 minutes. So we use this 5 minutes to answer your queries on the configuration part. Yes.
Can you also explain how to create chatbot?
Okay, great. So on a project, you will go to studio menu, agent builder, and then prompts. The same what you did for model creation as well. To create a chatbot, you have to choose a task as chat. That's the only difference. If you choose the task as chat, accordingly the general instruction will pop out. But let me show you one another prompt as well from a different project, where how it has been instructed. Let me show that. See, this is completely new example, out of the box scenario where it was designed to deal with emergency situation. Let's say for the New York City we are building it. So in New York City, if someone encounters an emergency, they immediately call for 911 or try to reach out to the customer care. So let's say they are trying to call 911. We are developing a system to automatically assist them on their emergency. Maybe I'll show the prompt next, but what the functionality here is, if I log in, if I open the chatbot, it try to get some information out of me. Let me put it like fire accident near my home. So it is trying to get more information from me. So I'm saying that Times Square. My name is Karthik, and few people injured. So here I'm just typing it, but you don't need to type all the time. We have a speech to text option. Just you have to tap on the mic and speak. So can you send someone immediately? That's it. So it will take it up, consume it, and then try to give you solution for it. So it's at the prototype level right now. So ideally, when there is an emergency situation, if you tap on the mic and then speak whatever you want, it will try to give you an idea, it try to console you first basically. Let's say you are involved in encountered an emergency, it will suggest you what to do, what not to do, and then it will try to get more inputs. In the same time, at the same time, it is uh, instructing the emergency responders to reach to the specific location. That is also happening parallelly. So right now I mentioned about something emergency. So if I tap on the mic and say that I am looking for something related to property tax payment, it is capable of answer. So it is not. It is based on your question. It will identify whether it is an emergency or non-emergency situation, and accordingly it will try to give you an answer. And then it not only gives answer, parallelly if it is an emergency, it will try to instruct the emergency responders to reach the location. So that's how the solution is built. If you all interested, maybe we can do one more session on how to configure all these things. But yeah, I take this particular project to give you an example of how to write a prompt for this chatbot basically. So let me show you how this prompt is written. Let's go to emergency 911. See, again this is not a complex prompt, it's a very simple prompt. It was instructed, right? It was given a role, so that you are an emergency response system for the city of New York. That's the role. So based on the user request, you have to identify whether emergency or non-emergency the situation is, and then it has to converse in a natural language, get the right insights, and then if it is an emergency, then try to follow these instructions. If it is a non-emergency, then follow these instructions, and then most importantly, maintain a professional, calm and clear tone at all times. So this is what the instruction that we are giving. So similarly, you can create quick chatbots inside Botminds with any role. Let's say contract tender analysis means it's dealing with large documents. In that case, you can define whatever you want, and then accordingly it will give you answer. So is that clear? Is your doubt clear how to configure the chat? Okay. Any other queries, questions after seeing this emergency response system chatbot? Yeah, just 5 minutes. So the ultimate purpose of this event or this workshop is to give you some insights about how the larger text analytics has been handled, or text analytics has been used in civil engineering department. So you would have gone through the larger books, documents, but you may not have heard about contracts, tenders before this event. So contract is completely a complex legal document, like Murli said. So you will not get the complete insight of what it is actually speaking. So it's a completely legal language. Whereas when it comes to tender documents, just to respond to the tender, you have to go through a document like 400-500 pages. So 400-500 pages means it will detail out every aspect what they are expecting. And most importantly, tender or contract, it is not coming from one single person. To create a tender, to respond to the tender, or to create a contract, it has to go through multiple teams. So legal team, finance team, procurement team, every team has to go through the document. If it is a 500,000 pages document, everyone has to go through it. Everyone will have a completely a different view from their department perspective. And then most importantly, since all these things are manually done, there are a lot of ambiguity, lot of missing. Let's say if you are missing a penalty term mentioned in the tender means, then that might bring the entire organization in a completely into a different mode. Like you have to go get into get to code to get the right. So all this will happen. Let's say if you are not meeting the SLA by 90% and if you are not completing the project in 90 days, if you are missed to capture that, there can be a clause stating that you have to pay them back 1 crore rupees. You missed to capture that and you are exceeding the timeline of the project as well. What happened? The company has to pay 1 crore rupees to the company that has provided the project, awarded the project, right? So these are all key parts that every team will read through this document in a completely different perspective. Financial team will look into all this penalty thing, whereas implementation team or a procurement team will see from the perspective of what are the materials that we have to procure for implementing this particular project out of this tender. So all these were taken care by the system that we already have in place. Maybe in the very next slide, I'll take just 2 to 3 minutes and then I'll showcase a quick demo of how this real life scenario is handled. So, in general, if a RFP or tender comes, means even in our company, if an RFP or tender comes, it is primarily a job of pre-sales. I am heading the pre-sales. It's primarily a job of pre-sales to look into the RFP on what the requirement is, what are the things that we have to give it as a solution. But ideally, it's not only that. I have to get to discuss with the technical expert, the product expert to identify the gaps, financial team to get the budget, leadership team to get the right code for it, and then delivery team to get the right implementation time. So even we are a small company dealing only with AI. From being the pre-sales head, if I receive a tender or an RFP, I have to go with a discussion with every team and then get their insights and then write a proposal. What it could be in a company like L&T. So the tendering process itself, these are all just a glimpse of how many teams involved. There can be more teams as well. Engineering team, finance team, supply chain, safety, legal, everyone will jump in, review it, process it. Ultimately, everyone has to go through all the 500 pages to get some insights out of it. So that is like you are wasting the effort of the human. So the chatbot or the LLM will give you a glimpse from the perspective of engineering team. Let's say you have a model that will capture or summarize from the perspective of engineering, from the perspective of legal. So it will just give you all the glimpse. So you just have to go through that glimpse and then act on it. That's it. Right? Let us see something real demo that we have built for Nippon Koi and a few other customers. Let me show that. So this is for one of our customers that we have built. You can see here that this tender document is almost 3000 pages. And not only tender, this has so many addendums. So usually RFP, some company may roll out RFP, and over a period of time they may add multiple new classes to the same RFP. Say they will just release an addendum. And also, in this case, you can see the company has submitted the site visit report as well. Even before submitting the RFP, the team has visited the site, which is basically a desert. They have gone through it and then they have submitted the report as well. So likewise, it is not 3000 pages, it's more than almost 4000 plus pages of documents. All this has to be processed let's say if you are dealing it manually, all these 4,000 pages documents has to be read by different teams and they have to come up with some inputs, right? In this case, what we did from the Botminds perspective, how we are helping this organization. So we are capturing all the basic insights, like what is the tender number, is it an international tender or not, what is the type of bid, all these basic information, bid validity period. Maybe you may not be relevant or you may not feel these labels as relevant to you, but when you are placed somewhere, definitely someday you will feel it relevant. And then most importantly, this company wants to know what are the risks associated with this tender. So if they want to implement this contract, if they want to submit a proposal to this RFP or tender, what are the key risks? So key risk means compliance risk, quality assurance risk, and also the system is capable of giving the insights like what is the impact that is creating, that would create to the financials of the company. We are summarizing that these are all captured just with prompts what you have written, right? You have to write a prompt accordingly and then bring all this information in the front end. So risk summary, and then also you can see that obligation for the insurance department. So when we are implementing this tender, when we are awarded with this contract, when we are actually implementing this live project, what are the obligations that insurance team has? So it has to take a medical insurance for all the employees who are working in the project. So then the company has to be designated as additional insured in CGL policy. All this information has been captured from the RFP, and then accordingly it is suggesting that, so this is the obligation, this is the timeline, and this is where it is mentioned. So this particular information is not mentioned in the original RFP, it is mentioned in the addendum. Since it is considering all these documents together, it is stating that this particular section, this particular task has been mentioned in the addendum of the RFP as well, right? And moreover, if you want to do a class by class analysis, so what is the specific class for limitation of liability, what is the risk level, and what action the company has to do to mitigate this risk as well. So all these information were done just using the prompts. There is no complex models behind it. Everything has been handled using prompts, and most importantly, this thing, right? So these are all just based on chat model. So if you click on chat chatbot, you will see Tender AI assistant will ask questions. So the description is 20-month project, duration is 150% limitation of liability. Then what would be the risk impact level for this tender? This is something, the question comes from the legal team. So it is giving that risk impact level is high because this is the risk description, these are the constraints, and these are the mitigation measures that the team has to take to overcome this risk. All these can be the chatbot what we have is capable of answering all these questions from the role perspective as well. So legal asks legal questions, finance asks completely irrelevant finance questions, everything within the tender, but the chatbot is capable of answering it. Maybe I'll just take 2 more minutes to show you how the prompters look like for this particular thing, Tender AI assistant. See, it's just a 2-liner. So you are a Tender AI analyzer AI chatbot specializing in helping tenderers or bidders get the tender related queries and provide appropriate and crisp response to each question. That's it. So using this prompt, you got this answer. Right? You got this answer just using this 2-line of prompt. So what prompt or what instruction you are giving is more important, and that will give you more weightage. So the 4,000 page documents, from the 4,000 page document we got a very a great insight in a matter of just 30 seconds or less than 30 seconds. So this is the power of AI. This is the power of Botminds tool as well. So hope you all liked this session. Maybe if you want to explore more, please do. And if you have any queries, you can reach out to me anytime in my WhatsApp or in my number. I can maybe you can contact Saranya as well to get my number. So you can reach out to me anytime. And most importantly, if any of you want a detailed session as well to get the insights about the project or the platform, we are happy to do that. Maybe in a more advanced way. So right now we just touch based on basic things. If you want to learn more advanced features behind this platform, we can do that. Like dashboards, workflows, all these can be done in the platform. So we can explore that as well in our next session if you are interested. So maybe now we are open to questions. Any queries? I'm here to answer. Any queries? So, first of all, did you guys like this session? Did you get any insights?
The purpose of the session was not that at the end of the session you become experts and start doing analysis of documents. At least you can go back saying that you know something now. You are not totally unaware of what data analytics are. You are totally unaware of what you mean by labels or what you mean by taxonomy, some words that are used here. So my request is all of you build on this. Right? So build on this, try to learn more, and try to propel in a particular direction that will help in your career. Okay, so Shakti just has a few closing remarks, and after that we'll close. Thanks, Karthik. Thank you so much.
Hey, first of all, thank you so much, Karthik, for this fiery session, ferocious session actually about the AI. Now the AI Left Right Center you would have seen, right? How it is working actually in the application. How many of you got some outputs? Could you just raise your hands? Oh, fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Some results, some output of what you have.
Some results.
4, 5, how many? Just raise your hand.
Just raise your hands boldly. How many of you have some outputs actually in your laptops? Okay, cool. Meaning, could you guys quickly take a snapshot and just post it in the LinkedIn tag IIT Madras and Botminds? Is it possible for you to do it right now? Don't share the private information like your name, date of birth and all. Whatever the publicly okay-ish information, just take a snap of it and tell thank Botminds or IIT Madras for this opportunity. And this is what the outcome output I have brought it through this workshop. You can give all these names actually. The CEA Summit, the workshop, AI power, tender analysis, contract analysis, all this workshop name, and just put a nice post there in the LinkedIn.
See, the intent behind this is to get more people know about this. Okay, so more people know about this, there's something like this to make the community better equipped with all these things. Okay, so if you are attending this, you should become brand ambassadors so that we get more people who will do this. Right, so please do that and support us in this movement of spreading this knowledge to everybody.
So we did this session for 3 members, and that spread out into 30 members actually. That's the reason the students of Professor Murli sir, they are using it now. Now suddenly it become 100 member. So it will spread actually, right? You can create this positive impact. So that is what it is. So again, thanks for this opportunity, IIT Madras team. I would request all the students just to come forward for a good group pick so that we can close the session actually.
Yeah, so just before that, one more thing that was there in my plan was to ask two of my students, Rajiv and Krunal, who are my MTech students, to present their work on what they are doing in the field of text analytics. But again, due to paucity of time, don't worry, they are not going to present anything right now. But in case you want to know what we are doing, we
I would now like to invite Professor Murali Jagannathan sir to give present mementos to Mr. Shakti Guru and Mr. Karthikeyan.
So I request all of you to come here for a quick group photo. Yeah, ultimately photo is very important. Come. If you can go on the stage also. Yes, stand up. Saranya. So Saranya and team is responsible for all the coordination and volunteering, and please give a big round of applause for CEA. Come, quickly, quickly. So some of you can go up also. Yeah. Shakti is can stand anywhere. It's not a problem. Some who feel that you may not be seen, please come up. Come on. No, it's okay. We'll also tag you as a CA student and civil engineering student.